Chiefs' playoff hopes dwindle as Patrick Mahomes throws 3 interceptions in costly loss to Texans. In an NFL era dominated by explosive offenses and superstar quarterbacks, Sunday Night Football delivered something very different. A gritty, bruising defensive showdown. But when the dust settled inside Arrowhead Stadium, it was the Houston Texans who walked away victorious, leaning on the league's #1 defense to earn a crucial 20-10 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. The result had massive postseason implications for both teams. For Houston, the win marked their 5th straight, pushing them to an impressive 8-5 and strengthening their spot in a crowded AFC playoff race. For the Chiefs, winners of 3 straight AFC championships and a dynasty in the making, the story was far more troubling. Falling to 6-7, Kansas City now sits 10th in the AFC, staring down a bleak 16% chance of making the playoffs with only 4 games remaining. This wasn't just another regular season loss. It was a sign that the Chiefs' season, once filled with optimism, is now balancing on the edge of collapse. A defensive battle from the opening kickoff. The tone of the game was set from the very first drive. The Chiefs, normally a well-oiled offensive powerhouse, were overwhelmed by Houston's relentless pressure. Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City managed just 14 plays on their first 3 drives, each ending in punts. Houston's defense, fast, physical, disciplined, played with the confidence of a unit that knows it can dominate anyone, anywhere. They clogged passing lanes, disrupted timing routes, and neutralized Kansas City's playmakers in a way few teams have managed in the Mahomes era. The first big momentum swing came early in the second quarter. On a pass intended for Juju Smith-Schuster, safety Jalen Peter made a highlight reel play, jumping the route, deflecting the ball upward, and hauling it in as he crashed to the turf. It was a tone setter and a warning. Mahomes would not have anything easy tonight. Stroud and the Texans start strong. While Houston's defense stole the spotlight, the offense quietly delivered one of its most composed performances of the season, especially considering the history. Just last postseason, the Texans' offense sputtered badly in Arrowhead Stadium. But this time, rookie quarterback Stroud showed maturity beyond his years. After an early field goal gave Houston a 3-0 lead, Stroud led a commanding 90-yard touchdown drive. On that march, he made his most important throw of the night, escaping pressure and hitting Nico Collins downfield. Collins turned the play into a spectacular 53-yard gain, flipping the field and energizing the Texans' sideline. 3 plays later, Stroud found rookie running back Woody Marks on a 9-yard touchdown pass, stretching the lead to 10-0. It was the kind of drive playoff teams make, poised, methodical, and opportunistic. Houston entered halftime up 10, fully aware that Mahomes and the Chiefs tend to explode in third quarters. Even so, they likely didn't anticipate how quickly Kansas City would strike after the break. Chiefs come alive in the third quarter. Briefly. Desperate for a spark, the Chiefs found one on their first meaningful third-quarter possession. Facing 4th and 1 at the goal line, Kansas City turned to veteran running back Kareem Hunt. Buried behind the line by defensive star Danielle Hunter, Hunt broke free, powered through another tackle, and punched the ball across the plane for Kansas City's first touchdown of the night. Arrowhead erupted. For a moment, it felt like the Chiefs' familiar magic was returning. Minutes later, a 36-yard field goal by Harrison Butker tied the game at 10-10. After nearly 40 minutes of frustration, Kansas City was level. Their defense was playing inspired football, their crowd was deafening, and the momentum seemed to be swinging in their favor. But then came the turning point. A costly gamble from Andy Reid. With the game tied and the third quarter winding down, the Chiefs faced a critical 4th and 1 from their own 31-yard line. Head coach Andy Reid, never afraid to trust Patrick Mahomes in big moments, elected to go for it. The decision instantly backfired. Mahomes, under pressure, fired toward Rashee Rice, but the pass fell incomplete. Houston took over in prime field position. Arrowhead fell silent. This was the moment the Texans needed, and they capitalized. Just minutes later, Houston punched in a touchdown to take a 17-10 lead. From there, the game's momentum swung entirely in the Texans' favor. Chiefs collapse in the fourth quarter. Down 7 with the clock ticking, Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense pressed harder, and mistakes began piling up. On a crucial 4th and short late in the fourth quarter, Mahomes delivered a perfectly catchable ball to Rashee Rice. The young receiver, who had made big strides all season, let the pass slip through his hands. The Chiefs turned it over on downs yet again. Then came the dagger. Attempting to hit Travis Kelce on a mid-range route, Mahomes threw slightly behind his tight end. Kelce bobbled it, and Texans linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair leapt in front to grab Houston's 3rd interception of the night. Mahomes, visibly frustrated, walked off the field shaking his head. The Texans had broken the Chiefs' offensive rhythm and their spirit. Running back Woody Marks gained a critical first down on the ensuing possession, allowing Houston to bleed the clock. Then kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn drilled a late field goal to seal the 2010 victory. Just like that, Kansas City's postseason hopes slipped further from reach. Mahomes' worst performance of the season. Statistically, the night was brutal for Mahomes. 12 of 30, passing 131 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a season-low passer rating. It was one of the worst games of his NFL career. This wasn't just about poor execution, it was the product of constant pressure, miscommunication with receivers, drops, and an elite Texans defense executing at every level. The Chiefs' offense didn't look like a struggling contender. It looked like a team completely outclassed. Houston's defense is playing championship-caliber football. The Texans made a statement. Their defense isn't just good, it's postseason ready. Their dominance wasn't limited to Mahomes. They held Kansas City under 200 total yards, allowed only 10 points, forced 3 turnovers, stopped Kansas City on multiple 4th downs, shut down the run game completely, took away deep shots and middle field routes. Head coach DeMeco Ryans has built a defense that is fast, physical, and fundamentally sound. If the Texans continue to play like this, they'll be a nightmare matchup for any AFC team come January. Chiefs face an unfamiliar reality. For the first time since Patrick Mahomes became a starter in 2018, the Chiefs are truly on the outside looking in. At 6-7, Kansas City is behind multiple teams in the wild-card race, playing inconsistent, sloppy football, lacking explosive plays, struggling with wide receiver drops, turning the ball over at an alarming rate, missing defensive leader Nick Bolton, getting outplayed at the line of scrimmage. A dynasty that once looked unstoppable now looks fragile. Mahomes put it bluntly after the game. We have to look ourselves in the mirror. Right now, we're not playing like a playoff team. Houston, surging at the perfect time. On the other side, the Texans are quickly becoming one of the NFL's best stories of the year. With an 8-5 record and massive wins over AFC powers, they are riding a 5-game winning streak, getting elite quarterback play from C.J. Stroud, featuring an emerging star receiver in Nico Collins, leaning on the best defense in football, playing their most confident football in over a decade. For a franchise that has endured years of turmoil, this season feels like the start of something special. Conclusion: a night that could define both teams' seasons. The Texans' 2010 victory over Kansas City was more than an upset. It was a statement. For Houston, it showed they are a true playoff threat, a balanced, disciplined team capable of beating anyone. Their defense dominated, their offense executed when needed, and their young quarterback played with poise in one of the NFL's toughest environments. For Kansas City, it revealed a painful truth. The Chiefs are no longer guaranteed contenders. With a losing record, a struggling offense, and critical mistakes in key moments, their path to the postseason is now dangerously narrow. Patrick Mahomes, long the symbol of NFL excellence, had one of the worst nights of his career. And unless Kansas City finds answers fast, the 2023 season could end in disappointment. A shocking fall from the league's former standard-bearer. The Chiefs aren't mathematically eliminated, but after Sunday night's loss, their playoff hopes and their dynasty have never looked more vulnerable.